And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to another episode of Player Life. It is Friday, March 25th, here in Tokyo, Japan. All is good, all is well. Nice sunny day here in Tokyo. A little bit tired. Um, man, goddamn, I don't know if any of you guys are involved in crypto, but holy shit, holy shit. The longer you're in crypto, the more you realize that literally no one knows what the market is going to do. It's like literally no one really knows. Like there's just there's too many divided opinions. It's crazy though. It's crazy. It can be quite stressful looking at charts all day. But yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. If you're not in, you cannot win. It's just the way the world works. It's the way the world works. My friend likes to call it the casino. He's right. In a way, it is a casino, and you can get wrecked really badly if you make the wrong bet. If you make that wrong bet, if you click that button, you better be willing to lose it all because that can happen. That can happen real fast. But yo, this is not the Tokyo Crypto Show. This is Player Life Show, and on this show we talk about degeneracy with females. Um, yeah. What is good? So today wanted to talk a little bit about sexual escalation. Because it's just something that you need to do right, you know. Sexual escalation needs to be done correctly. I mean, there's not really a formula to it. It can be you can do it kind of haphazardly. It's not the same every time, but there is, yeah. If I mean, sexual escalation can start, um, I mean, it starts before you actually are trying to have sex, I mean, someone asked me the other day about text message game and escalating over text messages, and I said, in general, if you try and if you match with a girl from a dating app and you're talking or whatever, even if you day game a girl, you get her number and you're messaging her, in general, if you try and like sexually escalate through the messages, you're generally going to you're generally gonna shoot yourself in the foot. You're gonna most girls are not gonna be down with it. Yeah, like there are exceptions to the rule, like the really freaky girls that are basically that DTF, that are into, that are freaky. I would say most girls are not, you're probably gonna scare them off if you try and sexually escalate, through messages, or getting too sexual in the messages before you've met them, before you fucked them, things like that. Before you even had a chance to fuck them. So generally, unless the vibe is there, unless it's an exception to the rule, I don't like escalate, sexually in the messages in general. And like, I not saying I've never done it. There are occasions, there are some girls that I have escalated with sexually before I've met them, but that's just kind of when you don't really care, and maybe the vibe is there, that the girl is kind of kinky, kind of freaky. um but so I would say definitely not. Most of the time when you're messaging a girl, don't escalate. Don't get too sexual in the messaging. It's just not going to work out most of the time. ask me how I know. I've been there and done that. I talk to other guys. I know they've been through the same thing. It's just, yeah. Um, when it comes to, dealing with girls in real life, that's kind of different, and not when you're not um dealing with a girl over messages or over an app or whatever. Um, if like there's levels to it, there's situations that are appropriate to escalate more than others. Like, for example, if you're in a nightclub, um it's a lot different than being at the park during at the park with a chick. There's only so far that you can escalate with a chick, like, at in a park, obviously. you know um daytime, but as opposed to being in a nightclub where you can do all sorts. You know but regardless, I would say, let me see let me just see this. Regardless, you're going to have to escalate somehow. you know um the worst thing you can do the worst thing you can do is not initiate any kind of touch. Like, if you're on a date with a girl and you're sitting across from them, and you're not getting into it with them, if you're not even like close to them or near them, you're sitting far away from them, that kind of sets the tone that you're away from them. So if you're on a date with a girl, always try and like be sitting beside them so you can touch their hand or touch their knee, or like just so you let them know that this is not like, we're not friends. Like, we're not doing this friendly thing. Like, we're not friends. Like, this is a date. Like, you're a woman, I'm a man. Like, I'm not, I'm going to initiate touch. Yeah, and you'll like, the thing is, it's very it's the sooner you do that, the better, like on a date, because you can really you can really read a girl's vibe, by how she reacts to trying to initiate touch. Like, if you try and initiate touch by touching a girl's hand or touching her knee, and she like shrugs it off, or tries to sit further away from you, that tells you that she's not that interested in you. Like, she's really like, if she's really like pulling her hands away, or um you know just overall just looking uncomfortable with you, then that tells you that she's really, yeah, she's not that interested. And yeah, she's probably wasting your time for some reason. Like, I'm talking very mild. I'm not talking going in for the kiss, or like going in for, like, grabbing ass, or anything like that. I'm just talking like, touching hands, touching her knee, something like that. Like, if that's getting rejected, if she's like, or if she's just looking uncomfortable about it, then that tells you she's probably not that interested. Um, but yeah, that's just something you have to do, to initiate the process. Let them know that you're not just being that, you're not there as a friend. You're there as on a date, and you're letting your intentions be known subtly but appropriately for like a daytime date. But obviously, if you're in a nightclub, things are different. Girls can be grinding up on you. You can be making out. It's just a different ball game. Like, day game and night game is it's pretty different. The things that you can do and get away with. Like, I mean, there's been times where I mean, I've banged, and I mean, I've, goddamn, um, you can get pretty raunchy in a nightclub. It can definitely get pretty raunchy in certain nightclubs. That is for sure. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, but like in general, like when if you're a guy that finds yourself like striking out or not knowing how to um seal a deal when when you get back to, like, if you've managed to get a girl back to your place, yeah, you've done something right, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to seal a deal. Like, you might think, oh, if she's back at my place, the deal is going to be sealed. But if you don't escalate correctly, if you escalate clumsily and awkwardly, you can shoot yourself in the foot just as easy. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of escalate with a girl once she is back at your place. um and there's a bunch. I like to It depends on the girl. Like, sometimes I'll have a chick back here, and it's just very obvious that it's not going to be awkward. It's not There's no like um there's not going to be that much need to, like, be cautious about how I escalate. Sometimes it's just obvious that a girl is very into you. um and usually that's been kind of established to some degree before I get back to my place, because I've already initiated touch. But sometimes it's like, sometimes it's maybe harder to initiate touch, or just haven't had the opportunity, and I've for whatever reason taken them back here, so I haven't really, you know uh, been with them that long. um so there's different ways. I mean, there's a bunch that I like to use. One is, I think, the most common one. I've talked about it before on this, on my live stream. But yeah, there's one that I use, and it's pretty funny, but it works. I mean, it either works or it doesn't. Like, I mean, I bring a girl back. We'd have whatever. We'd have a drink or something. I'd put on some music. Maybe turn on the TV. Like, she'll be flicking around on Netflix. Um, and then I actually, in this instance, I wouldn't turn on the TV. I would just put on some music. Get a drink, and I would just like sit down, talk to them. And after a certain period, I'd be like, right, okay. And while I'm talking to them, I'd like be like kind of holding their hand, massaging their hands. And like I said before, you can judge, you can figure out if a girl isn't like letting you hold her hand, then I don't know even know what she's doing back at your place. But yeah, but it happens. It can happen when a girl, even though she's back at your place, you try and like initiate touch, you try and hold her hand, and they'll kind of like, um, yeah, like pull their hand away or whatever. One sign that a girl is kind of uncomfortable in your apartment is if she doesn't like put her phone down, like she holds her phone constantly. That is a sign that she's not, yeah, she's just not like that. That for me is a sign that a girl is not going to fuck. Like, it's not always that way, but um it can be, a girl that like holds onto her phone tight, like, and she doesn't put it down. Like, and it's like, sometimes I'll be like, relax, like put your phone down. And sometimes they'll say like no, or they won't want to, or they will reluctantly, but you still get the message that she's like kind of uncomfortable. But it's not that it can't be overcome. But when I see that, I realize, okay, I have to be smoother with my escalation. I can't just jump in. That'd be too much too soon. So you can take it slow. Sometimes you can take it slow. Sometimes you don't need to. You can just jump in, make your move, and that's it. But it does matter, actually, because, the kind of girl that's holding onto her phone and like it looks kind of uncomfortable. If you jump in, try and make out with her, you're probably going to get rejected because you didn't escalate properly. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, a lot. Even some girls are like, they hold on to their phone and they'll stay a bit. You know, they'll really kind of they'll put some distance. Like every time you try and get a little closer, they'll like they'll move a little bit away. Um, they'll say things like, "What time is it?" "Oh, I got work tomorrow," and it's or what time's the what time's the last train, things like that. Just things that indicate that they kind of want to leave, or sometimes they'll just say that they have to leave. Usually in general, when a girl starts saying, "Oh, they have to catch the last train, or they have to catch the next train, or they have to go," usually that means they're kind of like they've kind of checked out. They want to leave. Like they're not. Um. Yeah. You in general, when that usually happens, it's like, okay, it's yeah. Generally, they're not going to give you a chance to even escalate. Yeah, but yeah. So I would say if you're getting vibes off a girl that she's like kind of that you're gonna get rejected, you can just take it slowly. You don't like once she's back at your place, you don't need to like jump in there and like try and kiss her out of nowhere. Um because that's actually what a lot of guys do. That's what I used to do when I was clumsy. Like you get a girl into a back to your place, you haven't really you know you haven't really initiated. You've been on a date with her, you might have had coffee or whatever. You get her back to your place, and then you kind of, you're kind of stuck. You don't really know how to make the next move, and because you might feel awkward about it. Like a lot of guys feel awkward about doing it because they're maybe inexperienced. I mean, right? I don't feel awkward. I feel zero awkwardness about escalating now. Like I'm 33. I have so much experience. Like I just don't really care. Like, I mean, if I get rejected, I get rejected. I just don't really care. But I know, like, I can read the situation. I know what's appropriate for certain situations and what's not. And that's just game, really. That's part of what having game is, like being able to read the air, being able to read the situation. Okay, this girl, I can just like as soon as I get her back into my place, it's most likely I can make my move. I don't need to take it slowly. Other girls, it's like, okay, she doesn't look as comfortable, so I need to like, you know, relax. There's no need, throw on Netflix, um, just relax, talk a bit, maybe talk a bit, just don't rush it. Sometimes you don't need to rush it because rushing it can like I said, you can shoot yourself in the foot. Um, so yeah, the some of the techniques. I'll just talk about some of the techniques that I use in general, and I mix them up sometimes. But number one, probably the mirror technique. I've talked about it before. I come back to my place, um, sit down with the girl, we talk for a bit, and yeah, I'll kind of stand up. I'll ask the girl, and I'll say, how tall are you? And then like I'll put my hand out and I'll kind of stand her up. I'll direct her and then I'll walk her towards the mirror. As the guy, you have to like take the lead. Like, so you're the guy that knows what's up. Like, you know what you want to do. So you have to take the lead. Like, don't, just take her hand, walk her towards the mirror, stand, stand in front of the mirror and, compare your height with her. And, that's it. The reason it's good is because you can both see each other in the mirror and, you can get close to her. You can stand behind her and then you can escalate from there. You can joke around. You can, it's just like, it's just a good way to escalate. I mean, I've used it too many times to like remember. I mean, um, you can also, you don't have to kiss, because like I said, like sometimes kissing a girl on the lips out of nowhere is like really awkward. But something like with the mirror technique, you can kiss her shoulder, you can kiss her neck. I mean, also, like when you do that, you're going to be able to read into her, how receptive she is to it. You know, is she receptive to it? Is she not? You know, and you don't have to go full in, trying to kiss her lips, um, which, like I said, can be awkward and clumsy if done out of nowhere. And I don't, yeah, I think girls don't really like that either. If you just try and kiss them out of nowhere. But a lot of guys will do that. Like they'll just like go from naught to 100 without giving any warning or sign that you're going to escalate. And can that's why a lot of girls will like reject guys at the last, the most important part. You've done the dates, you've done all the whatever, all the work to get the girl back to your place, which can be like, i mean it can be hard, like, to do that for a lot of guys. I mean, it can take time, so you don't really you really want to try and escalate correctly, or like, in the best way possible. um so that's why I like the mirror technique, because it's kind of like, you know it lets her know what slowly, kind of what's going on. Like, not it's not very sudden. It's like it's smooth, basically. um so yeah, once see how receptive they are to your kiss on the shoulder, on the neck, and then if they're receptive to that, they can turn them around and start kissing them. And then you know you can just escalate from there. I mean, that's pretty much like, I mean, when I talk about escalation, sexual escalation, it's like up until the point of, you know, kissing the girl. Like, I mean, once you've started kissing them, then you can judge from there how into it. Some girls will let you kiss them, but they won't really want to fuck. Um, but yeah, in general, like, a lot of girls, once they start making out with you in your apartment, a lot of the time they're gonna go the full way. And not always, certainly doesn't always happen, but and that is you need to understand when a girl is into it, when she's not. Some girls want to go like, first base, some girls are going to go the full way. It's not, there's not, it's not a like it's just a set rule. It's like there's a lot of, you know yeah. But yeah, I mean, another one, obviously, Netflix and chill. It's like the most common fucking, everyone knows what Netflix and chill means. But yeah, man. I mean, if you tell a girl like, hey, yo, let's come over, let's Netflix, come over for Netflix and chill. If she doesn't know what that means, she's an idiot. Or else she has her head buried in the sand. I mean, even Japanese girls know what Netflix and chill means. Like, even I'm talking Japanese girls that don't speak English know what Netflix and chill means. So I mean, it's like a thing around the world now. It's like people know what that means. So I mean, yeah, I mean, if you arrange a date for Netflix and chill, yeah, I mean, and if you've said like, yo, let's come over Netflix and chill, um, yeah, she's probably down to fuck. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're watching a movie with a girl, um, like, you really, like, you just have to get to a point where you're like, you really, I mean, you have to put your arm around her. Like, you can't be watching a movie with a girl. You can't be watching Netflix with a girl and not have your arm around her. Like, that is like goofy as fuck. Like, um but yeah, I mean, some guys, like, it's just funny. So I'm sure some guys do. Like, I mean, I can remember a time where I probably would have done that just because I was awkward, unsure of myself, like, just not really, just inexperienced. And not really sure how to escalate. But as the man, you have to like a girl is never going to sit down beside you and put her arm around you on a first date, you know? As a guy, you have to do that. Like you have to, as a guy, like if we as men waited for girls to like make the first move, make the first kiss, like initiate sex, initiate escalate in any way, we wouldn't. Personally, I would never. It would just never happen. I would. It just doesn't happen. Like it's the same with day game. It's the same with game in general. Like, the only exception is dating apps. I mean, but even dating apps, even dating apps, girls don't like initiate. Girls don't initiate stuff. I mean, in general, I don't understand that world. You know, I mean, I think the only thing girls do is message is like match with the guy and maybe message, maybe initiate a message, but they don't. In general, they don't say, "Oh, okay, let's meet, let's have coffee." It's down to us as men. We have to do all that. Like we have to do. If you're a guy and you're getting girls to like initiate things with you, you I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing something right. But for me, I understand that that doesn't happen for me. I understand that that doesn't happen for most guys. Yeah, it's just not in female nature to escalate, to like initiate things. So yeah, you're just gonna, it's just like sit down beside the girl, just be smooth about it, put your arm around her. Like if she shrugs it off, don't force it. Of course, don't force it, but like it's just weird. Like if you're on a date with a girl in your house and she's not letting you, and you're watching a movie together and she's not letting you put her arm around her, it's like, what are you even doing? Like, why are you even here? Like, what is this? Like, how are you not letting me put my arm around you? Like, it's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to reassess. Like, I mean, I don't think. I don't think I'm going to sit through a full movie, and I don't think that's ever happened, and I don't. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't do it. I probably would say like it sounds harsh, but seriously, if a girl is not going to let me put my arm around her in my house while watching a movie, then I don't know why are we even watching the movie? I don't. It's probably a movie I don't even want to watch anyway. Like you know what I mean? It's like what like yeah, I'm probably gonna be like, yo, I mean, do you want to go? Like, I'm not gonna give up like straight up. I'm not gonna just burn the bridge. But if it's like a reoccurring thing where she's genuinely like she's just not like she's not down for it, like she's not even letting you like initiate any kind of touch. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, I don't really even want to watch a movie. Yeah, I'll walk you back to the station. But I mean, that's like after I've tried like numerous times. Like I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not suggesting just to burn the bridge and like be finished with it. But yeah, I'd say that's a pretty rare occurrence. But it has happened. It has happened to me. It has happened to me where it's like, yeah, girls will be like, yeah, I can think of a few instances that did happen. And so I didn't watch, like, I was like, yeah, I think I just like, eventually stopped. Like, I just, because I'm not like, I just don't have the patience for that. I'm not going to watch a full movie, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, like with like not, sitting like parallel to a girl. Like, it's goofy as fuck. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, it's silly. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, but yeah, so that's but in general, Netflix and shit is pretty smooth. you know I don't think, yeah, you know it's just like the movie's not the objective. Like it's really not. Like you're watching the movie, you know um your arm around her. The longer girls basically just have to be warmed up. Like, so the longer your arm is around her, and you can you can start to escalate through, like, through touch, and eventually just go in for the kiss after a while. But it's something you don't need to rush. There, it can be good to build up that tension. like your arms around her, you're slowly, she's slowly getting more and more, you can just feel that they're getting more and more comfortable with you the longer your arm is around them, and they're kind of snug into you. um the longer that goes on, the more comfortable they are, the more you can just feel, the more they want you to like make your move on them. um and like I said, girls are just never like, girl, they she's never gonna make the move on you, so you have to make the move on her. Like it yeah, it's just God, like I can't even imagine. It's just like it's so rare that a girl will initiate anything. Like it's super rare. Um, it's just not. It's just, I think it's just a turn off for girls to like. If a girl was to, if she was really liked you, and she's like, she came back to your place or whatever, and you just didn't make any move on her, she's, yeah, more than likely not going to do anything. She's just waiting for you to uh make your move on her. Like most girls, the vast majority of girls are going to wait for you to make your move on her. And if you don't make a move on her, then nothing's going to happen. Like that, it's as simple as that. It's literally as simple as that. Like if you're not in, you can't win, as in most aspects of life. Yeah, you just got to be in. You got to shoot your shot at least. So that's Netflix and chill. Another technique is the massage technique. The massage technique I use a bunch as well, to be honest. So I would like, get back to my apartment, and I would, I'd put on some music, get the girl a drink, sit down, talk a bit. Generally, like, just maybe start talking about sport. I bring up the topic of sports. Does she play sports? And then maybe does she like going to hot springs? Just kind of bringing up that kind of massage topic in general. Um, and then I'd bring up, do you like massages? And I would say I'm pretty good at it. And I'd say something like, let me give you a massage. I'm pretty good. I usually say let me, because if you say, do you want a massage? They're probably gonna be like, oh, I'm okay. But if you say let me, then you see, like, they'll either say, oh, sure, or no. Um, uh, yeah, just kind of like show initiative, show that you want, basically let them know that you want to give them a massage. And then when they know, it's not like you're going out of your way. Um, so yeah, most girls, like, again, if a girl says no to that, that's just, it's a sign that, it doesn't mean you can't escalate in other ways, but it's generally like, okay, she's not ready to be escalated on, basically. If she says no to, if she says like, no, I don't want to miss, like, I'm fine, no thank you, no thank you, like, then yeah, you pretty much know that she's not in a spot where she's ready to escalate with you. um so you're gonna play it cool, you can switch it up, throw on a movie, relax more, put your arm around her, stuff like that. But when they say yes, yeah, I mean, yeah, when a girl says yes to a massage, is generally it's a good sign. Yeah, and yeah, it's, yeah, 9 out of 10 times I would say, and not always, but nothing's guaranteed in game. Like nothing is ever like, oh, it's guaranteed. Like, but yeah, when they say yes to a massage, especially like, oh man, you can, if you bust out the oils, shit, yeah. If you bust out the, like, coconut oil, hell yeah, hell yeah. Generally, like, cause if you say you got to use oil, right, you gotta be like, okay, I got to take off your pants, right? So because I don't, of course, you don't want to, like, you don't want to stain their, you don't want to get oil on their pants. It depends on what they're wearing. She could be wearing, like, if they're wearing jeans or whatever. And if they're like, if they say yes to that, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's generally like, yeah, you can. Generally, it's a pretty. I mean, and it's a great way to escalate too, because you also like as a man, like when you're massaging a woman. I mean, if you're not getting turned on when you're massaging a woman with oil, then you need to get your T levels checked. But that's why I like it, because it's like while you're massaging the chick, you get like generally fully fully yeah, fully locked and loaded, um fully sprung, as they say. So like when it comes down to, yeah, it's always good to be, mm, yeah, it's good to be fully sprung, basically. So like you're ready to go. um yeah, yeah. So yeah, usually I would you don't always need to use the oils, but I would usually, it's a good excuse to remove her pants. And then it's just a pleasurable way to, I mean, who doesn't like massaging a hot chick? Like it's a pleasurable thing to do, and it will turn you on. And if it doesn't turn you on, I don't know what's going on. Either she's not hot, or yeah, um yeah, you're not into her, or you have low testosterone. um Yeah, I'm gonna get fully sprung every, like, if I'm giving a girl a massage, like, straight up. Um, yeah, so you should get, as a guy, you should get good at giving massages to girls, because that also, if a girl is on the fence about whether or not she's gonna let you fuck her, but like if you're really good at giving massages, then that could totally like change, like favor, put her on the side of letting you fuck her. Um, she might have been on the fence. She might have been like, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have sex with this guy today. Some girls will, they'll come unsure. Like they'll be like, maybe not. You know, I might not. Depending on your game. Um, but if you use the massage technique, and with a girl that's kind of on the fence, she lets you give her a massage, and you're really good at giving her a massage, then that is like conveying to her that, like, you're gonna be good at sex, basically. If you're a guy that can like give a good massage, in chances are you're gonna be pretty good at having sex. Like it's just that simple, because you understand female anatomy, you understand like touch, like it's like very similar. Like it's similar stuff going on. It's not the same, but it's similar. Like, yeah. So if you can give a good massage, chances are you're going to be pretty good at sex. Um, so yeah, like girl could be like completely on the fence, or she could be like, no, I'm not going to have sex with this guy today. But then you give her a massage, she gets turned on, and then she changes her mind, like while you're giving her a massage. Um, I had a girl tell me that before. It's straight up, like she was, you know, um, yeah, the whole routine, like the routine, as I call it, it said, let me give me a massage. She said, sure. And, it escalated. Um, and yeah, after, I fully escalated, we ended up banging. But after, she said, like, today I wasn't like intending on having sex with you, but you were so good at, I got so turned on when you're giving me a massage. I wanted you to fuck me. Like, I've had girls say that to me. So it really is a good way to like to escalate. um I think one of the best ways, actually. I think it is, because you can sway a girl's, like you can turn them on, basically, from giving them a massage, like yeah, definitely. And then the massage can turn into like a very sexual, erotic thing. It's not, it's a it can turn into, it can go from being a regular massage to like being very like erotic and sexual. um yeah, it's just this very smooth transition. Giving a girl a massage is one of the smoothest transitions into sex, I would say. One of them, maybe the smoothest transition. I like it a lot. I probably prefer it more than the Mirror technique. I think, let's just say, I think giving a girl starting off escalating through massage is probably my favorite way to escalate. Yeah, good times indeed. Um, yeah. Um, yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of other ways you can escalate as well. Another one is, well, what's another one? Um, Another one is like, I mean, it's a very simple one. You can do it as well. If you're sitting down talking to a girl, you're just like, you should be, yes, let's say the music's on, you're sitting on your sofa or whatever. You should be kind of initiating touch, like holding their hand. Um a good excuse to just initiate touch with a girl, like to start holding their hand, is to just start like holding it. Do you like massage? And start massaging this part of the girl's hand lightly. Girls love that. Just start massaging this part of the girl. Like, that's just an excuse to initiate, like holding her hand, and then it becomes like, it's not like the focus or anything. It's just like, hey, let me. Do you like that? Or compliment her nails or whatever. But say, oh, if she has her nails done, just say, oh, you have really nice nails, and then like just start massaging this part, and then it's, just start talking to her, start, you know, but so then it's just a way to initiate holding her hand, and you can like really, you can definitely like escalate through holding a girl's hand, like you can, like if you're really attracted to a girl, you can get like, I mean, I've gotten full again. I mean, even from just holding a girl's hand, like you can get fully fucking sprung. Like, I mean, if a girl has a very feminine, sexy hand, I mean, you can, yeah, I mean, if you're, yeah, you should, yeah, you can get fully sprung just from that alone. In a way, you should be, yeah. Any kind of female touch can, yeah, get you going. But, yeah, so, you initiate touch through the hand, and, you can, a way to get close to her is like the kind of eye color technique. I don't use this one very often, but I have used it, and it is a way that you can, get it. So say, what color are your eyes, and then you just get close to them, and like you look, oh, you can just talk about their eye color, and then they get close to you, and you can kind of transition once you get close to them. You can be like, you can maybe comment on, if they're wearing perfume, say, oh, you really nice perfume. So you put your like face into their neck, and then you can just initiate kind of kissing their neck. So that's kind of like the eye color perfume technique. And just compliment, say, oh, it smells so good, stuff like that. It's just a smooth way, to initiate a kiss. Um, uh, Without, I like, honestly, like, this this is not PC to say at all, but like the worst thing you can do, the biggest turn off for a girl, and this has been confirmed by girls too. Like, I've talked about this before, but the worst thing you can do, like, to turn off a girl, is say, like, is to sit down in front of her and say, "Can I kiss you?" The mainstream media, all the PC lefty liberals, all the fucking, the womanists, all these will say, "Oh, that's what you have to do." That's not how. That's not going to turn a girl on. That's going to be like, this guy's a wimp. What the fuck? He's just asking me, can he kiss me out of nowhere? He didn't initiate any, like. There was no escalation. Like, a lot of girls will reject, like, they, because girls don't want to seem like easy. They don't want to seem like if she's really into you, she, like, if she's super into you and she really wants you to kiss her, she probably say yes. But even if she's into you, like, even girls that are into you, like, she'll say yes, but she'll be kind of like disappointed. She'll be like, this guy's a fucking nerd. This guy's a nerd. Like, he's a nerd. He's a pussy. Like, what's he doing? He's no game. He's no game. Because there's ways to, like, judge, like, without verbalizing it. Like, verbalizing something like that is lame as fuck. Like, um, it should be just something that's kind of understood. You gradually, that's why you call it escalation, because you gradually kind of like, you gradually escalate, and then you make your move, because it's implied, like it's implied through body language, and all kinds of body language, sounds, movements, how she's reacting. But if you just sit there and say, hey, can I kiss you, it's like, what the fuck. um yeah, I remember year, like this is so long ago. I mean, but ask me how I know. I'll always remember. I mean, I was in college, and I was like, I was talking to this girl, and it was so obvious that she wanted like me to kiss, like that she would have kissed me, like, but I was such a fucking like, I was blue pill. I was inexperienced. That was it. I wouldn't say I wasn't a nerd, but inexperienced, definitely. Definitely not red pill. And yeah, I just remember I was holding her hand, standing in front of me. It was like at a party, and I said, "Can I kiss you?" And she just threw her eyes up and said, "Oh my god, what the fuck? Like, why did you ask me?" And it's like she was just disappointed, and it always stuck with me. And I learned my lesson from then. I think I was probably like 20 years old at that time, so it was like 13 years ago. But so it's a long time ago. But I learned my lesson even then. Um, it's something that just that's not, it's not gonna turn any girl on, like saying, "Oh, can I kiss you?" Ooh, yeah. And yeah, the womanists won't like that one. But it's a fact, like it's straight fact. You ask, "Oh, can I kiss you?" Fucking lame as fuck. No, it's just something that's implied, and that's why you have to like understand body language, understand, like, I mean, if if a girl is back at your place, it's like, well, of course you're going to try and make her move on her. um if she's not into it, she's not into it, that's it. But you got to make your shoot your shot, right? It's as simple as that. um um yeah, I mean, another one, I mean, if you're a guy with a beard, if you have facial hair, um it's another one that you can use. It's very simple, but you're sitting again, you should be sitting with them on the couch or wherever. And obviously, you know it's just a way to initiate touch. So like, you ask her something like, "Oh, do you like beards?" And you take her hand. You should be holding her hand. Like, if you're talking with a girl in your place, you should be kind of like have your hand on her knee, or on her, holding one of her hands at least. So then you just take her hand, and you put it up and let her like stroke your face. And then you can say, "Oh, and then you can touch her face, and then you just go in closer for the kiss, and then that's it. um it's just a way to kind of like smoothly get closer and initiate a kiss. um I I would say I don't use that one too often. A lot of the time it's not necessary. But one way to really turn on a girl actually is by lifting them up. Like, lifting a girl up, because if you're a guy that can comfortably lift a girl up, like she can feel your strength, she can feel your power. And girls are attracted to guys that are stronger than them, better than them, yeah, physically superior to them. um so it's just a way to demonstrate. It's kind of maybe a little bit similar to the mirror technique a little bit. um uh you know you know it's so you're sitting down, you could be sitting down, and then you're talking to them, and then you just stand up, you take their hand, and then you just say, "Wow, you've a really nice shape, like you work out." And then you can just like kind of say, "I wonder how," any even if a girl is like super like even if a girl has a nice, she's really petite, has a really nice figure. If you ask her like, you know, how heavy are you? They're all every single girl's even even no matter if she's skinny or if she's fat, they're all gonna be, oh my god, don't ask me that. They all have the same reaction. But you can ask her just because it creates that kind of like you can always expect the girl's gonna be like, oh my god, don't ask me that, and then she's not gonna tell you most of the time, or even if she does, you can just say, oh, I gotta let me check that. You don't just say, let me check. Are you serious? You're like 40-45 kg? I don't believe you. And then like just kind of pick them up, so like their legs are and most girls like, well, a sign that she's into you is if she like when you pick her up, she kind of cooperates and throws her legs around you, like and you grab her and like you have her legs up here and like she kind of wraps her legs around you. That's a good sign that she's like into you. A sign that she doesn't want you to pick her up at all is that like she keeps her legs real straight and doesn't like really cooperate. Like she kind of like wants to be put down. But in general, like if you can pick up a girl comfortably, like, and she has you straddled on her, she'll be turned on. A lot of the time they'll be like, oh shit, this guy's like, he's masculine, he's strong, can like lift me up easily. It just turns girls on. So yeah, I mean, depending on the size of the girl, um yeah, I mean, you can sometimes like, sometimes you can start initiating a kiss while you have them lifted up. Depending on how comfortable you are, like you should honestly be able to lift up the girl that you're with. If you're not, you need to do some weights or do some gym, or unless she's like a giant, unless she's really fat or something. But yeah, maybe that's your thing. Maybe you're into fat chicks. There are guys, like, believe it or not, like the funny thing is there are guys out there that I mean, it's obvious there are guys out there that are into fat chicks. Um, like guys have the most varied variety of like weird fetishes, I think. Compared to chicks, it's like the evidence is there. Just go on any, don't recommend it, but just go on any porn site and look at the categories, and it's like, damn, there's a lot of weird shit. I mean, but there's always a BBW, big beautiful women section. And apparently there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of views on those videos if you do your research. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's just another technique, the lift up technique. You can use that. Yeah. So overall, there's just so many different ways to escalate, but the overall thing is that you have to, you have to do it smoothly. That's what game is, really just doing it smoothly, calmly, not showing awkwardness, because that's the thing that will turn girls off the most. Like if you're a guy and if you're acting unsure of yourself and you're acting nervous in your own place, the girls are going to pick up on that, and girls will feel that'll make them feel awkward, that'll make them feel nervous, and then they're just not feeling comfortable, they're just not really into it. Like one of the ways to actually make a girl feel really awkward in your place is if you don't make any attempt to escalate with her. I actually remember I did that like just as an experiment. Like I just said, right, I'm gonna like. Eventually, I did escalate, obviously, but I just left it way longer than I usually would, and it was so funny. It was so funny to see like how uncomfortable she got, because I didn't sit beside her. I didn't like, obviously I sat near her, but I didn't touch her at all. Like she came back to my place, you know, sat her down. I didn't like try and touch her. Didn't like, do anything, sit beside her. I just kind of dragged it out. Like, and she like, I could just sense that she was really like what the fuck is this? How come he's not like doing anything? She didn't say that or do that, but eventually I made my move, obviously, but I just dragged it out, and I did it consciously just to see like, okay, what how's this gonna, what's she gonna do, or what, you know, is she gonna make a move on me? Obviously I knew she wouldn't, but I just wanted to see. I could almost see like a frustration in her, not so much a frustration, maybe like an awkwardness. And it's not that I was awkward or anything, but it's just like, okay, I'm back at it. She's like thinking in her head, okay, I'm back at this place. Like, how come we're not doing anything, or how come he's not sitting beside me, or that's probably what she was thinking. But I mean, when I did make my move, yeah, very, she was very receptive to it. Like it was like, thirsty for it. But yeah, it's just another more evidence that, like, not that I need any more evidence, it's fact. Like it's a fact that most girls, like, obviously, yeah, there's always if the if there was chicks watching this, they'd be like, oh, but I made a move one time, or I did this one time. Oh, I have a friend that did this one time. No, this is like the exception to the rule. Like this is not general. This is not like, you know we're not talking about the exceptions to the rule. We're talking about it in general. And in general, for the vast majority, women are not going to make the move ever. They're never going to do it. Like even if a girl is crazy about you, she's like really wants your dick. She's most of the times, yeah, most girls are just not. Even though if they're craving your dick, like they really want you to fuck them, they won't make the first move. They won't do it. They'll just sit there patiently and frustrated, and then if you don't make your move, they'll leave just disappointed. That's what'll happen. That's the only thing that'll happen. Girls have told me that before. I've heard. I've had. I remember. I remember I met a girl. I met a girl, and she was like super hot. I met her actually near my station. It was like last train, and she was looking really hot. So I cold approached her. I said, "Hey, let's. What are you up to? Let's have a drink." And she was like, "Sure." So we went to a bar. I was like, "What did you do tonight?" She was like, "Oh, I went on a date." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Like with who?" And she said some guy, and she was like, "Oh, it was the fourth date or something, the fourth date," and she was like, "It's her words, not mine." Like she could speak English, but it was kind of weird. It wasn't, the word she used was like, "He didn't attack me," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What do you mean he didn't attack you?" I mean, surely that's good. I knew what she was trying to say. I'm not, but obviously I was messing with her. I knew immediately what she was trying to say. She said he didn't attack me, and I was like, obviously it's weird when it's translated into English, but I knew she was saying he didn't make her move on her, but I was joking. I was like, what do you mean he didn't attack you? He didn't try and hit you or anything? And she was like, she started laughing, obviously, but she was like, no, he didn't make his move on me, and I knew she was trying to say that originally, but obviously just nagging her. Um, yeah, so this guy that apparently she'd been on 4 dates with, she said, this guy never attacks me. And I said, what the fuck? Well, it's funny, man. And yeah, obviously, we established that she meant he didn't make his move on her. And she was like, oh my God, it's like, this is my fourth date and he didn't make his move at all. And as she's saying this girl was hot, by the way, man. And I was sitting like like we're sitting on stools in the bar, and she's wearing this little mini skirt. Oh my God, like, good Lord, what kind of guy wouldn't make it his move after 4 dates? 4 dates. This is what she said. It's just funny that she used the word attack. And as she's saying that, he said, "Oh, really? He wouldn't make his move on you." And I'm just starting to slide my hand on her thighs, and she's just like totally like allowing me to do it. And she's like, we're just leaning in towards each other. I was like, "Oh, really? He wouldn't attack you?" And then we get closer and closer, and then I just start making out with her. Um, and yeah, it was a good time. I just said, "All right, let's get out of here," and I took her home. good times indeed. So that's an instance where you can escalate. You can escalate before getting back to your place when it's very obvious. Sometimes, like she's telling me how frustrated she was that some guy wouldn't make his move on her. Like she was fucking frustrated. Like she was a little bit tipsy. So she's like being like on it, like she's being like she was on 4 dates. It was like her fourth date with some guy. I don't know what kind of guy does that. I'm a, I can relate to it. It's just a blue pill guy, probably some blue pill guy. But apparently she liked him, and but yeah, she at the end of the day she wanted to. Girls want to get banged too, guys. Like I don't. I think it's definitely different than the manner in which men want to have sex. Men want to have sex. If you're a healthy high T guy, you want to have sex like almost every day. I mean, every day, probably. Like if you're very like you know you know yeah, if you're very high T and you never jerk off or anything every day, then yeah, sex every day is fine by me. Um, but yes, but girls definitely get those urges too. Like certainly they definitely enjoy sex. It's just that I don't think I think it's different. It's like it's almost like they go through periods, and it's just like they need to be turned on. They need to be turned on. So like she went on the date with that guy, hoping that he was going to escalate with her, whoever the guy was. I don't know who the fuck he was, but she obviously liked him. She obviously, and she was just like frustrated. So she was probably like, she's probably mad, turned on. Like she's just like hoping that she's going to get laid that day. And I think she was because she was wearing such a sexy. It was like a little mini skirt, these high heel boots, very looking very hot, and yeah. So anyway, I definitely escalated with her and sealed the deal. So the guy that went on 4 dates missed out, and I got it on the first night. Yeah, the first night because I don't snooze. You snooze, you lose. I definitely don't snooze. When I see an opportunity, when I see a girl that's like she's my type, she's hot. I can read. I'm gonna make my move. That's for sure. Like I'm definitely not gonna be a guy that doesn't. But it wasn't always that way. I remember, there's when I was blue pill, when I was inexperienced, definitely you know, I could have escalated a lot sooner. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. Escalation is very key to not, And so the other thing, like, it's funny, like, you know, if certain times, like, you'll meet a girl, and sometimes girls go on dates, like they genuinely like they want to have like they want to hook up, like you know and if you don't escalate, you don't make your move, or you're just inexperienced, and you just don't like go, try and seal the deal. Some girls will like punish you for that, and what I mean by punish is like they just won't meet you again. It's like they're they came hoping to get banged. It's just the reality. Like some girls, like I would say, yeah, like it's just got some blue pill guys say, oh, girls don't do that, or girls they're angels. They don't go all out looking to have sex, but definitely some of them do. And yeah, if you're too pussy to like escalate, or at least try and escalate, try and make your move, then that's it. She'll bounce. She'll find another guy that will. Like she will. Um yeah, so always remember to like try and shoot your shot. That's what I'd say. Um why not, it's like you gotta let them know that you're not like yeah, you're on a date. You're a guy, she's a girl. You think you're it's like not you're not trying to be friends with her. You're not trying to be like buddies. Like you're no, you're like you're sexually attracted to her. You want to, you imply that you want to, you demonstrate that you want to have sex through your body language, and slowly escalating towards it. um so yeah, hopefully that help you guys out. um as usual, check out the links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're interested in learning more, um hit me up for a consultation. I can, we can chop it up and talk about your current situation, because game varies from person to person, from location to location. What works for one guy might not work for another guy. Yeah, sometimes guys just need to be told what to do, because the answer can be very obvious, but sometimes you just need someone to tell you how to sort out a problem in your life. um Once you crack the code about chicks, it's just like, there's really more important things in life to be sorted out. Like, there's, yeah, you know, as the saying goes, money muscles game. There's you need the whole. You can't just have one or the other. You need all of it to be a overall balanced out guy. But yeah, there's a lot of guys out there that don't have their sex life in a satisfactory state. Um, but it can be solved. It can be sorted out for sure, and it's a good time when you have it sorted. Because once you have it sorted, it's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can just source women wherever you are, and yeah, I mean, you'll have your ups and downs. If you're living, like, if you're spinning plates, chicks will come and go, but variety is the spice of life, and that's what I like. Variety. If you're a guy that likes variety, the player life is for you. Um, like, the player life, really, I really do think is for me, because anytime, like, the idea of having like one girl that's like, loyal to me, and loves me, and like, is willing to settle down with me and all that, is just not as appealing to having like this adventurous life with like many girls. um but who knows, as you get older, that might change. I'm 33. i don't feel I don't feel the need to have a girl, like just one girl that's going to be in a monogamous relationship. To me, that just sounds very boring. I would get frustrated. Um, but each to their own. Everyone has different, you know, everyone has different desires and things like that. So yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna go out and do a workout. So yeah, guys, have a good weekend. Until next time, peace out. Bye bye.